Hey there, Sandy from sandybowie.com. Now this week we're going to talk about how to get over that feeling of being paralysed by fear, by overwhelm when you start out in your coaching business. So if you've ever been in this situation, like you've decided that you want to be a coach, you want to get into this online coaching gig. You've got an idea of what you want to coach on, who you want to coach, like the service that you want to provide. Maybe there's a program that you want to offer and you know who you're going to offer it to, right? So you set up your website, just a basic one even. It doesn't have to look too glamorous. Maybe you'll have some promotional pictures of yourself taken and you've got it on there. And that's you. You're all set and you think, I am ready to go. I've got all the foundational pieces in place. But instead, your next stage is nothing. You do nothing because you actually don't know what to do next. Like, you don't know how to book your first client. Like, how does that part actually happen? And here's the thing, there's so many different gurus, if you like, out there that are telling you all these different ways that you can go out and book clients. This is how you do business. And the trouble is that they believe that this is the only way to do business, that their way is the only way to do business. And they are so convincing that they convince you that this is the only way to do business. And you might even take some courses and you find you can't implement it, so you go and take another course, but you're still in that same place. You're still in the place of fear, of overwhelm and paralysis as well. Now you get stuck there because of two things. Either you don't know what to do next, or you know what to do next but you're too afraid to do it. Neither of those places is a great place to be, I can assure you. Like, that's exactly where I was. A bit of both of them, to be honest. Like, I stayed stuck there for about 2 years before I finally managed to move forwards. Like, so, tick yes, I had the desire to coach. Tick yes, I had a website. Did I have yes, I had a program that I could offer to people. Tick, I knew how much money I wanted to make from it. But I didn't do any of those things. None of that actually happened. I needed to make some other shifts before I could make that part happen, before I could move forward and start booking the clients and getting the money in. And today I'm going to talk to you about 3 of the key shifts that I actually made. So shift number 1, right? Get aligned with how you want to make your money. So if I was being 100% honest, like with you and with myself, every single program, every single idea that I came up with in a span of a few years actually, where I attempted to make money as an entrepreneur and as a coach, they were really other people's ideas. Like, I was looking at what other people were doing and I thought, I could do that. I saw people paying them money. Okay, so they're making money at that. I could do that. And I was right, I could do that. But it wasn't until I really aligned with like who I believe that I am, what I believe in, that this changed for me. So, like, I used to do a lot of corporate work. I had a corporate business. I was a trainer, if you like, and I used to deliver a lot of workshops around all these different topics. And, like, honestly, some of them were awful. I mean, the most boring, like, technical things and all sorts of stuff. I couldn't go back and do any of those things now. I really couldn't, because I'm not that person anymore. I'm not aligned with any of those things. But previously, I used to think that, well, this is what you need to do. Like, you just need to do what it takes to get the clients, to sign the clients and deliver the services, even if you have absolutely zero, and I mean zero, interest in them. Like, so when I tried to become a coach, I guess I applied the same thinking at first. Like, You know, I thought about teaching sales and I thought about teaching discovery calls because I knew how to do them really well. But I wasn't aligned with that, so I never really took any action. So this is what I did to finally get aligned, right? So I thought about like the best day, because I love training. I thought about the best day, the best times ever that I've had in all my years of training. And there's been about 20 years I've worked as a learning and development consultant in the corporate world, if you like. And the funny thing is, it boiled down to one event. That's terrible, isn't it? In the whole of 20 years, there was one event that I thought, do you know what? That was the one. It was like the best day that I've ever had in the training room teaching people, just this one event. And it was about personal development. Go figure. It had nothing to do with business skills or technology or sales. It was actually personal development. Like, I still remember running that event, and it was a long time ago now. That's the weird thing. Like, I remember how good it actually felt. Like, I was absolutely the best that I've ever been that one afternoon. In the training room. That is so terrible, but I was like, you know that feeling when you're just so aligned and in flow with what you're doing? I was on fire. And the funny thing is, one of these delegates that I had that I've never met before in my life actually came up to me afterwards and said, are you a motivational speaker? Do you do motivational stuff? And I was like, no. But it got me thinking, and I've never forgot that day. Like, so that was truly the best day that I've ever had. So I knew instantly, this is my path. This is what I need to do. I need to spend every day of the rest of my life talking about personal development, because that's what I really love and that's what I'm truly passionate about. So I aligned my business to that. So that was shift number one. So shift number two, right? Design your own business model. So you may have heard me say this before, and I'm going to say it again. Like, I am sick and tired of all the gurus out there that tell you that their way is the only way to do business. I mean, of course, we've all got our own opinions, we've got our own way of doing things, but actually it's okay to adapt and find your own way. Find what works for you. That's always how I've operated. Like, there's so many different ways out there to make money, because I've already done a huge amount of things to make money in my life. You know, from working, doing corporate gigs to, actually, I was a waitress. My very first job was a waitress. And, you know, at various times, I helped my mum when she was managing a bar. And, you know, I used to pull pints and things at the weekend. So I've done all sorts of things to make money. So I know that there's not just one way. So I stopped trying to force myself to do things a certain way, you know, the way the gurus or whatever coach I was working with at the time. And I got just clear about how I wanted to feel about my business. So I'm clear about my own personality. I'm a bit of a home bird, actually. I like being at home. You know, I'm not this glamorous person that enjoys going off travelling all the time. I like to travel, but every now and again. That's just who I am. I like to go to new places and have new experiences, but I am a home bird. So my job, I used to work away from home all the time. Like, my travelling was for years at a time. It wasn't days. I lived in hotel rooms for years. And that made me very unhappy. So I've stopped all of that now. I don't want to work that way. I don't want to align my business with that. I'm also an introvert. And that means I need a lot of time to myself to keep myself balanced. So, you know, running workshops back to back and having coaching clients back to back, that just doesn't work for me. Like, of course I'm going to be in paralysis and not take action when it's towards something like that I don't actually want. I need time to myself, so I have to build that in. The other thing about my personality is I don't like huge, large social gatherings, and I don't like things like networking events, because I am actually still a little bit shy. So, you know, talking on the stage and going to networking events where there's groups of people that I don't know, it's not my idea of fun at all. Like, when I'm meeting new people, I like to meet them individually or in small groups. That's pretty much me in a nutshell. So what is my idea of fun then? So this is how I had to design my business. I know who I am, I know what I want. I love teaching. I always wanted to be a teacher. If you'd asked me when I was young and I was at school, when I was growing up, I want to be a teacher, that's what I would have told you. I love teaching large groups or small groups because each of them have their own value. There's different levels of intimacy in different ones, so I can do both of those things. Like my largest group to people so far has been about 50, maybe even a bit more actually, and the smallest one has been about 4, and both of those types of environments are great. I love doing that. I also love performance coaching, you know, so not as much as I like teaching, but like one-to-one coaching is a great way to sort of really get down to mastery level for people and work through the blocks that they have. What's stopping you from implementing what you already know? What's stopping you from getting ahead in your life and doing that? I love that. You can get to mastery level by one-on-one coaching, and that's also something I want to do. I also love creating programs because I don't know if I could even count how many training programs of some sort that I've created over the years. Too many to count actually. So like passive income and having group programs and things, that's what I want to do. That's the business model that I want to work with predominantly. So what is it that you really want to do? Once you understand like your true personality, you understand how do you want to spend your time? How many clients do you want to work with? Like that's your business model, that's the one you work on, and you design your business from there, right? And finally, one other big shift that I made, right? Just pick one thing and set yourself a challenge to do it. So once you've aligned yourself with who you really are and you've got your business aligned with that, like you'll notice that some of the fear starts to melt away straight away. That fear that you've been feeling, you're like, okay, this feels good. I can do this. But now it's time to work on the sort of paralysis stage that comes up, because there's a lot of different ways that you can market your business, right? That is an absolute fact. And I was like, well, which one shall I choose? I don't know which one to choose. And that's a big thing that was holding me back. I was really confused. And it is confusing because there's so many out there. I want, which one is going to work the best for me is what I really needed to ask. So I was looking for, okay, so which is the best marketing way out there? And everyone will tell you that it's their way. That's why it's so confusing. But I needed, and this is the truth, right? They all work. Everyone's way works. Once I got that into my head, I was like, okay, right, so they all work. Why didn't I know that before? I was looking for the one that really worked, you know? But what I needed to be looking for is the one that was going to work best for me. And that's what you need to look for. Which one is going to work best for you? So I like Facebook. I like doing the live streams and I like doing the little mini teachings, and I do a weekly video blog. I really enjoy it because they're like teaching, and I love that. But for the moment, I'm just ignoring Instagram, I'm ignoring Twitter and anything else that's out there, you know, Pinterest or whatever. I just feel really comfortable with Facebook. And it's taken me a little while to get comfortable with Facebook, I must admit. So here's the thing, right? I'm 48-year-old grandmother. You know, I have children on all of these social networks, nephews and things like that. I don't travel all over the world, you know. Not doing fascinating things at any point in the day that I'd want to take selfies of and stick on Instagram and all those different things. So they don't feel good to me to do right now. But if you are doing all of those things, then Instagram might be your bag. You've got to figure it out. Like, all of the platforms are really useful. I've just chosen one that fits and works for me right now, and I'm going to work at that one until I get to mastery level on it, and then I'm going to have a look at the others and not before. So what I did, and this is how I got out of paralysis, right? So I chose my platform, what I was going to do. And the first thing I actually did was I set myself a challenge that I would do a weekly vlog and post it on my blog and in my on my Facebook page as well. And that, I made it a non-negotiable, right? It was a non-negotiable thing. Every Thursday, so I decided Thursday was my day, my vlog goes out. And I haven't missed it yet. It absolutely has to happen. And once I was comfortable doing that and, you know, on a roll with it, I set myself another challenge. Go live on my Facebook page twice a week. So you get the idea. Like, just pick one thing. Takes you out of paralysis. Make it a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable challenge that you set for yourself, and you do it even although it still feels scary. That gets you out of paralysis, because the best thing to get you out of fear is action. And that's a fact. So let's sum up, right, because we've covered quite a lot today actually. This one was a bit longer than I thought it would be. So, having your business aligned with your personality, with who you are, with what you want, what you love, is what really truly matters. It took me a long while to get that lesson, I'll be honest with you, a bit longer than it should have. Like, the truth is that I'm probably halfway through my life now. Maybe I don't have as much as another half to go. I don't even know. But I don't want to spend any more of the time that I've got left doing things that I don't want to do. I'm absolutely clear about that. I'm not available for any of that. I don't want to waste time being scared. I don't want to try and force myself to do things that just don't make me feel good anymore. Like, the next part of my life, I want to feel good about. I want to set my own agenda in it and live life on my own terms. And that includes what I do for my money and how I do it, how I set it up. And I encourage you to do exactly the same. Don't wait years and years to get that lesson like I did. You can have it today. It's available for you right now. So I hope you find this helpful, and let me know in the comments below if you've got any stories to share about how you were in paralysis and how you got out of it too. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you again next week. Bye bye.